before that goes anywhere, you'd probably need my signature.
Okay.
Which you won't get.
No, that's not how the First Amendment works. There's no expectation of privacy in a public setting.
I will probably have to sue you.
Oh.
There's not one thing that I think Donald Trump has done properly.
Yeah.
He's attacking democracy in every way he can.
How?
Not good.
Which is not good. I believe in democracy.
Is there any category that you're saying, hey, they're doing a pretty good job? Or no? Any immigration, economy, foreign policy, no new wars?
So because Democrats never accept.
He said today, or maybe, yes, it was today, that he has brokered 6 deals for peace. Which 6 deals is he talking about? So he lies. He constantly lies.
Why is that one? I don't know if it's 6. I thought it was 5. Maybe it is 6.
He
But
said 6.
There's
He didn't broker those deals. So brokered by other people. He takes credit for it because he pushes the power of the United States into the fray to force people to make choices they have no other way.
That's actually one victory that a lot of people have looked at, being like, okay, well, they've actually been heavily involved. I don't know if they're fully responsible, but heavily involved in brokering a handful of peace deals. You think just none. He has nothing to do with any of them.
So which deals did he broker? Can you tell me?
Azerbaijan.
No,
Just recent. That was the most recent one, and that was the U.S. that was 100% involved in that peace deal.
It wasn't 100% the United States. The Azerbaijanis, they had a plan. All he did was kind of push it through. But he didn't need Donald Trump. Donald Trump is taking all credit for all this because he wants the Nobel Peace Prize, which makes me nauseous.
We'll table foreign policy because that's a whole complicated issue, huh?
It is much bigger than my understanding.
It's probably same with me, right? But when it comes to what's happening here at home, your big things for his F.
What he's doing with ICE in this country? I mean, come on.
He's doing an incredible job.
That's not human. That's inhumane. He's talking about going after the bad guys. I wish someone could go and give us actual numbers on the bad guys that he's picked up. I've seen mothers that are waiting to pick up their kids. Look, without immigrants in this country, we have nothing. And Donald Trump would like to get rid of a lot of the immigrants in this country.
Without immigrants or illegal immigrants?
Immigrants, illegal or not.
Okay, yeah, you might have, like, recent arrivals, you might have, like, 50 million less people.
Just because someone has come to this country illegally doesn't make them bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Hey,
they're just
I got a quick question for you.
They would like to have some of the life we have because where they are, it's not that good. It's not safe. They just want to be here and get a little bit of what we have. And guess what? We can afford it. We can afford to pay for all those people. We're a very wealthy country, and we're getting very greedy.
Well,
And we don't want to take care of those people. We don't want to take care of our own people.
Like $37 trillion in debt. I don't even think we can take care of ourselves at this point.
We can take care of ourselves if we did it properly. And Donald Trump didn't help that number at all. He's going to make that number bigger than ever.
No, that's one of his big issues with a lot of his supporters that I would speak with is the
crazy.
Overspending. But spending's been a big issue for a lot of administrations for the last, at least for my lifetime, but certainly for the last 15, 20 years. I'm really curious about your thoughts when it comes down to their agenda. They call it there's a few names for it, but the common sense agenda. This has to do with, hey, no taxpayer funded sex change operations for minors.
Do you know how many of those are? Come on, let's
how much money they are?
No,
how many?
How many? It's a handful. We made a big, huge problem about nothing. Okay, so we can't fund them.
Couple thousand top surgeries in the United States for minors.
Okay. So what? Let's see how many tax breaks
are. You support that? I mean, removing taxpayer funding for that.
I say whatever the law says.
Yeah.
I say whatever the law says at that time. That's the way it is.
Okay.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah. Do you support his agenda? And that agenda of saying, you know what, taxpayer dollars shouldn't go to that. What do you think?
No, I don't. I don't support anything he supports.
Okay.
Zero. And so I want to help
men and women's sports. Them removing men from women's sports. Do you support that agenda?
I think that that's up to the people that are playing the sport, and that would be. And when I say that, that's the entire group. And I have no problem with a transgendered male or woman swimming in the sex in the group that maybe they
This
weren't
man is a lunatic.
with those.
Well,
with those
don't we break that down? This is where a lot of people.
but can I say something?
Oh, please.
What we're trying to do here in this is we're talking about a really small issue. We're making it a really big one when we have.
I understand there's bigger issues.
Yeah, there's much bigger issues than that.
But this is a cultural thing as well. Like, what are we going to allow as a culture, as a society?
What are we going to allow? Are we going to allow billionaires to keep not paying taxes? Are we going to do that? Are we going to allow billionaires to take advantage of the system that I can't take advantage of?
We are kind of changing the topic. My thing was,
know,
I'm curious what you think about that agenda of kind of the, hey, taxpayers not paying for surgeries in the military.
Why taxpayers pay for those if they're in the military? Yeah.
Okay. So even that agenda, which actually is a very popular one with a lot of people that I'll find, is okay. Men and women's sports, getting men out of women's sports, sex changes for children. Gender ideology being pushed, I guess, in the education department and all that other stuff that would fall under that category. You are against that agenda, as long as Trump is connected to it.
I'm going to jump really far out. I'm pretty much against everything he's ever done and ever stands for.
Okay.
So the answer to that's going to be yes. Yeah. I think that Donald Trump is tearing the country down really fast. And I think that he's got some really good help. And I think the Heritage Foundation that did the 2025 project is just, Project 2025.
You flipped them, that's okay.
I think that that little outline, which is huge, is what he and his people are using. I don't think Donald Trump is smart enough to think up any of these things, but I think he's a really good tool to put all things into place. And they're doing them really, really fast. And you don't have to be a rocket
They call
scientist.
that flooding the zone when it comes to getting a lot done there.
Yeah. And what we do is we get Donald Trump to get out there and flail his arms around and make some crazy statements so that all the really frightening things can happen to our government. And they're doing that all the time, every day. And I think that when we lose compassion as a country, we are done. And we are not a compassionate country when it comes to our government now. When there are detention centers, which are otherwise called concentration camps, all over the country now. And people can say, that's not true. Well, it's true. It doesn't take much to understand.
You bring this one up. And, it's funny, you're bringing up the immigration one. For me, that's actually why I voted for Donald Trump, was for the immigration. And it's funny how you think that's the worst thing he's doing.
It is.
I would think it's the best. But I think we might disagree on some of the language there and what's being done. And we can have, of course, a respectful back and forth on that. But really quick, over the last 4 years, right, we saw record-breaking child trafficking, record-breaking sex trafficking down at the southern border. And a bunch of Democrats said absolutely nothing about this humanitarian crisis on both sides of the border.
Where'd you get your numbers?
Should we be really quick? Customs and Border Protection under Biden's administration. Should we be taking your criticism on that seriously when that's all not happening anymore? That crisis is completely evaporated. And there was nothing being said during the worst humanitarian crisis at our southern border in American history.
And your numbers are incorrect, whether they came from the Biden administration or not.
Okay.
But they've been
Tell me the correct numbers. Go for it.
I don't have the correct numbers, but the numbers weren't as high as that. And what we're doing now
What is your basis for saying that?
Trying to gaslight it.
Everything I read, all the press that I read.
And where are you reading it? Like, who's telling you that
MSNBC.
the border crisis over the last 4 years
bet.
wasn't the worst in American history?
The other government numbers that come out from different departments. So if you want to go look at your numbers,
Which one are you talking about?
Go to the census. So the census breaks down a lot of numbers that you don't have. The census talks about those numbers. It doesn't match up with what you're getting from other aspects of the government.
The last census was done in 2020. It's done every 10 years.
I know, but we fine tune it. Donald Trump's fine tuning it right now, as you know.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to exclude people that are in the country illegally.
He's trying to change the numbers.
Well, he's trying to exclude people that are in the country illegally because they're not supposed to be counted in the census necessarily, right?
So how were they counted? Excuse me. How were they counted illegally?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
How did we count these people illegally?
I didn't say illegally. I said we did count illegal immigrants in the U.S. Census.
How did we count people that were illegally in the country? How did we do that?
Because we're not giving them to citizens, we're giving them to everybody. So everyone fills out the census.
So you're saying that the numbers in the census counted illegal aliens unfairly? That we have those numbers.
No, I'm just saying that they counted them.
Yeah,
Would
you're
you?
saying they're counted.
Are you saying that's not happening?
Yeah, I say that those numbers are really small, those illegals that were counted in the census. Do you think somebody that's illegal is going to run up and say, yeah, count me for the census. I want to be counted. That's kind of not smart, wouldn't you say?
I mean, when it comes down to the U.S. Census, anybody can fill it out, but it's also just getting a rough estimate of how many people are in a particular area. So if you have, let's say, before the Biden administration, at a minimum, 15 million illegals, those people are still roughly being counted in the system. And the interesting part about that, it actually creates an interesting incentive to open up the southern border to bring in as many illegals as possible, because what does the census do, right? Determines how many representatives a state has in the House of Representatives. So there's every upside for importing as many people as you possibly can, even though it might be the wrong thing to do for the country.
But we don't count all those people. You say we do, but we don't.
And what is your basis for saying that?
The same place you got your information.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you got your information. Where did you get your information about the numbers of people that are counted in the census that were illegal? Do you know how many people that was? How many people in this last
census
census
doesn't determine who is in the country illegally or not.
But you just said.
So they just
that
count
there were
everybody.
A whole bunch of people.
Do you understand what I'm
saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're missing the point.
No, I
no,
agree
you
with your
are.
point.
You're missing
But
the
for
point.
some reason, you think they're excluded for some reason, but the census counts everybody.
But the census can't count everybody. You can't count everybody because we don't talk to everybody or count everybody in the country.
Yeah, it's a rough estimate. So you're saying because I don't understand your point.
Well, my point is your census numbers, they're wrong. Because
How?
first of all, the census does not count everybody in the country. It counts everybody it can in the country.
It gets an estimate. So if there's 30 million people
now
here,
we're at an estimate. We're not at real
wait, it
numbers.
doesn't get exact. I mean, that's
Okay, now we're knowing it's not exact. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, but you said
I'm
to
curious
me,
what your point is.
What you said to me was all of these illegals were counted during the census.
Oh, perhaps I'll get rid of the word all, right? So illegals are included in the census as well.
Yeah, there are some, yes.
But if you have, 30 million in the country, I mean, that's a massive
So
number.
where'd you get 30 million?
So there's about 15 before, roughly 15 to 20.
Where did you get that number?
That's from Pew.
You sure?
Yes.
Can you verify that number from Pew? I'm not sure you can.
Oh, you want me to pull it up right now?
So, no, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
You
You're
may
not
show
going
it
to
to you?
change my mind. You're not going to change my mind.
Pew Research is
Because-
gold standard for research in the United States?
Yeah, but not right now. Because Pew's
Not right now.
Pew's been a little sketchy. Because Pew's got to worry about the Trump administration.
Wait, no, these are numbers before the Trump administration.
But still, the census does not count everyone in the country, and you
It gets an estimate, and they use that
And
number.
so what we're doing now is we're concentrating our information on another problem.
Yeah.
The few numbers between
12 and 15? Thank you for checking on that. He doesn't trust them, though. So it doesn't.
Thank
You said 30.
No, I was telling him 15,
No,
and that's
you
before
said-
the Trump.
you
That's
said
before
30.
the Biden administration.
You said 30. Well, it'll be on your tape.
Of course it will. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be. 15 before the Biden administration. They brought in an extra minimum 10 in a span of 4 years. It was the worst border crisis in
So
American
that's
history.
25, not 30.
These are rough estimates, so it could be. It could
be
be.
20?
I'm saying a minimum of 10.
Could it be 10? Could be 10,
Oh yeah, it could be 10.
but not 30.
I'm
it's
saying
not
I'm saying
30
new
million.
imports, sir. I'm referring to new imports under the Biden administration.
So
That's
you
on top of
voted
who
for
was there
Donald
already.
Trump because of his immigration policy.
Because-
and I
yeah,
think his
I think it's-
immigration policy is horrible.
Yeah, I think facilitating the worst human trafficking crisis in history, child trafficking crisis in history, in U.S. history, is problematic, and I think that we need to enforce our southern border and our basic immigration laws. I mean, is there anything wrong with that? Really?
I think what's wrong with it is how you use that
What do you mean?
and how you use the information.
Oh, they're importing people for the purpose of voting. I mean, I think that's wrong to
And I
use
think
them for
that's-
that.
I think that's crap.
Yeah.
I think that's crap. I think what you just said is incorrect.
Sorry, which part?
The bringing people in for vote so they can
Oh,
vote.
of course they are. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Who said that?
Not-
Do you know?
Well,
Are
no,
you-
I'm just saying the
you're-
strategy
no,
is
are you
kind
an
of common
expert on
sense.
that? Do you know? You said common sense. I'm skeptical on your common sense now.
Why? Democrats have
Because-
everything to gain for importing as many people as possible.
But Republicans use every trick in the book, and you're trying to say the Democrats are just importing people to vote. They can't vote.
They have
They cannot
yeah,
vote.
they have an impact on
They
federal
cannot
elections,
vote.
which we just spent like
We just
5 minutes
talked
going over.
about, you said voters. They can't vote.
They impact
so
federal
you and
elections.
I are at an impasse.
There's a couple cities across the
you know
United
why
States
I'm
where
saying this is because
Sorry, we can go
because-
one person at a time.
Because you have an ideology that I disagree with.
Being opposed to human trafficking.
Because you're going to focus on this human trafficking thing that you use your numbers that you say the Biden
administration's
gave
numbers.
you. Yeah. And so you're going to focus on that.
Yeah.
So you don't care about an election?
Well, you mean the facts is what I'm focusing on.
No, it's not facts. It's your interpretation of facts. And you guys are misreading things. And you always have
how am I wrong?
And so, again, we're going to go back to...
Do you mind if I ask how I'm wrong on that?
Well,
Would you like to see the numbers?
Wrong. You just told me 30 million illegal immigrants.
I've had the numbers correct, actually.
But you said 30 million. It's actually not.
Total right now, minimum, I would say 25 to 30 million in the
that's
country.
A Trump number. That's just like the Trump numbers. All the Trump numbers are phony.
That's basic math when it comes to adding Pew Research.
Your math.
No, it's not mine. It's Pew Research and the federal government's math.
I don't trust your math and math from the government anymore.
Okay.
I don't.
Do you trust the Biden administration's government?
I trust some of it.
Okay. Those numbers would be coming from the Biden administration when it comes to the last 4 years.
Numbers are correct.
Okay. Well, hey.
So some of those numbers come from Texas state, the state of Texas. Come on.
They come from Customs and Border Protection.
Yeah, but those numbers still come from the information gathered at those states, and those states aren't necessarily giving us the right information.
Maybe the numbers are incorrect. You know, maybe that's the case, and at that point we can't talk about anything if the facts we don't have accurate facts.
We don't agree with the facts. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, the facts are incorrect.
It's interesting that you're doing this. It's a good thing to get people to talk. I'm disappointed to see young people vote for Donald Trump. I thought they were smarter.
Against human trafficking?
But you're going to keep going on the human trafficking. So much more in the world than just our one problem. That's a big problem.
You were the one that was bringing up immigration, so I decided to talk about that.
No, it's good. But, I mean, there's a lot of problems. Yeah. And so human trafficking, I'm going to not lean on your numbers and agree with you. I'm going to say
they're not my numbers, they're the Biden administration's numbers.
Misrepresented those a my
numbers for that are just at the southern border. They're not even including the CNVH program of flying people into the country, the CBP One app of flying people over the border coming into our country.
So do you believe in the vote? Do you believe in voting? Do you think Donald Trump should eliminate the vote?
I think we should be counting Americans in the census and determining how many seats a state gets in the House of Representatives. You know.
Yeah, so what do you think about our redistricting situation here?
Oh, I'm against redistricting in red and blue states.
Yeah? Yeah. So you think Texas shouldn't be able to do what they want to do?
Theirs isn't even that egregious, but if they are gerrymandering...
What? You're kidding me.
Have you looked at the map?
I live in Texas.
Yeah, the map's, I mean, it's not that radical compared to, like, other places, you know?
Come on.
Like, there's no snake districts is what I mean, you know what I mean?
And wait, look at Louisiana next door. Born and raised in Louisiana. Same thing. Yeah, I mean, snake districts. So it's
I already told you I'm against gerrymandering in all red or blue states. Can we agree on that?
We can. No. Right now I don't. Right now I'm all for gerrymandering to make sure that we have a balance, a more balanced government, if that even matters anymore.
If that is a game that you want to play with people, I think that's fine. I'm against it. That's fine. That's your thing.
We're going to be against
if the Trump administration is successful in mass deportations, Democrats have a way bigger problem to worry about, and that's losing dozens of seats in the House. That's a big problem that Democrats have to worry about. So forget trying to save 5 seats in California. Democrats are facing losing dozens of seats in the House because they
Democrats and Republicans.
Right. I'm talking about the democratic process here.
This is not. We don't have a democratic process right now.
I'm talking about that. You know, cheating the system, importing as many illegals as possible to beef up your numbers to get more seats in Congress.
To tell a state in a red state that
they
don't. I did. I heard that, but you didn't want to hear what I have to say.
I'm listening now.
Okay. You know. But so it's okay for a state to not approve the election. They're gonna. So now at red state, if it doesn't like the blue outcome, they just don't have to. They don't have to certify the election anymore.
Okay.
Trump administration is allowing that, so that's okay.
Where's that happening? So, you're saying for 2026 they're going to do that?
2026.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well, a lot of the problems that I hear when it comes to a lot of those concerns, we put that in the category of the Department of Imaginary Concerns, where it hasn't happened yet. It's not going to happen when it comes to just completely rejecting people's votes in an election.
Wow, that's a great way
for example, no, it's okay. Can you give me an example of it? Is my next question. You know.
So when it happens, because it's a new thing.
Hasn't happened yet.
It's a new thing. Well, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if that hasn't happened. I'm not too sure about the last election.
The 2024
presidential election.
I'm not sure about that one either. I mean, they didn't even give Democrats a primary election, and you're talking about a threat to democracy here.
So, yeah, there's a couple of states that have lawsuits pending on interesting... That it could have, yeah, part of it was.
Do you mind if I ask what you mean by that? And I'll give you time to explain.
I mean, research it. Look it up. Look up
That's your
Illinois. Answer. Look up New Hampshire. There are areas where Kamala Harris got 0 votes, but other Democrats got votes. And that's a long discussion, but look it up.
Check
it on your phone.
This is the next Trump-Russia collusion, huh? We could spend tens of millions of dollars and tell everyone that.
And yeah, he did, and that happened.
We're still on that one.
Yeah, we are. We're still on that one. You bet. I'm on it.
They spent tens of millions of dollars on that, saying that Russia cheated the election. There was no evidence of that. That was wild, and that they were trying to help Donald Trump. In fact, new evidence recently was shown that there was no evidence that they were specifically trying to help Donald Trump in any way.
I'm not going to.
You're not going to believe it.
I'm not going to believe that. Just like you're not going to believe a lot that we believe, but I'm not going to believe that. No.
I was just asking you to explain a couple things.
It's obvious to me that we are always going to differ. We're going to differ on the facts. Right. I've been dealing with.
You want no border at the southern border, and I want a border.
So
I believe in protecting American sovereignty. It's wild.
See, there you go. So you twist words, and you try to make it okay.
I'll give you a fair chance on that one.
Stop.
What should the punishment be?
Oh, please go. Words.
Okay. How did I do that?
You said I want no border.
That's how I'm interpreting your position on it.
Oh my God, you're interpreting.
I'm sorry, my bad.
You can't interpret. You know what?
Tell me.
We're done.
You're not going to tell me your thoughts on it?
You know why? Because you're not going to change my mind, and I'm not going to change yours.
We can have a friendly back and forth.
I'm kind of tired of talking.
I'm not going to make you talk to me.
You know why? Because we're not going to change each other's mind.
I understand.
And nothing I give this gentleman here.
It's a good example for the people to check out, though.
Yep.
They can see who they agree with, who they don't. Who made a good argument, who they don't think make it. Maybe they disagree with me. Maybe they disagree with you, So it's a good opportunity for people to check it out.
It will, but before that goes anywhere, you'd probably need my signature.
Okay.
Which you won't get.
No, that's not how the First Amendment works. There's no expectation of privacy in a public setting.
I will probably have to sue you.
Oh, awesome.
Which will be better for you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to walk away now, so I appreciate your time.